Hi, I'm Matt with eTrailer. Today we're going to be talking about the Pace Edwards Full-Metal JackRabbit tonneau cover on the back of our 2025 Ford F-250 Super Duty. Now what I really like about a tonneau cover is it's going to do a few things for you. One, it's just going to give your vehicle just a nicer look in general. And two, it's going to help protect it from any type of weather like rain or snow. Now with the Full-Metal JackRabbit, that's going to do one other thing for us. What it's going to do is give us extra security and just be really easy to use, because it is going to be a hard tonneau cover, so no one can come by with a knife, cut right into it. And two, as you saw, I just pushed it right into place. And if I ever need to pull it back out, I don't have to go back to the front of it. I can just grab it by this right here, and it's going to pull towards me. Now, this is going to be extra great because if you're pulling, let's say, a fifth wheel behind you, this also locks into place right here. So you can help protect anything that's going to sit behind that fifth wheel, but also still haul at the same time. But that's just how this neighbor is using it today. We'd love to see how you're using it in either a picture or comment so we can see your journey. Today we're mainly going to be focusing on how this tonneau cover interacts with your F-250. Now we'll start off with talking about some of the specs, the features, and how it's going to interact with the truck, and if you need to be a little bit more aware of anything being obstructed. After that, we'll talk about how it's going to install. We're actually not going to install it today since most of them do install the same way. If you are more curious about the installation, you can check out one of our other videos with the JackRabbit. And something else I wanted to mention real quick is to make sure you're getting the right tonneau cover for your truck. Since there are going to be different bed lengths and different years, makes, and models, it's important that you check out our fit guide to help you find the right one for you. So let's start off by talking about how this is going to operate. So if we come over here to the very top, or remove these keys, we're going to have a lock core here. So it's going to be very secure, not only because it is a hard style, but because it has a lock core. If I turn that, I can actually open this up. You hear a click, and you push it in. Just like that. Now when you push it in, you're also going to notice some holes here on the side. Here's going to be one of them right here. The way that's going to work is when you pull this forward, typically you're going to hear or feel a click, and once it gets to that hole, it will stop. And when I go to push this back, this is actually going to stay in place. So there's going to be multiple points on your bed that you can put this in if you just want different areas covered. But let's push this all the way in so we can get a few measurements. And a little tip for you, if you ever want to take out your keys, because it's not going to let me take it out at the moment, if I pull on this string, you're going to hear a click, and now you can remove your keys. But let's get some of those measurements. Now, one of the biggest things with a canister is it's going to take up a decent amount of space in your bed compared to a roll-up or a folding style. So let me get that to show you how much space we are taking up at the moment. From here, we're taking a little bit under 15 inches. So if you have an 8-foot bed like we have right now, that's not a whole lot of space. Now if you have a shorter bed, that might make a larger difference. But since this is taking up that space there, not all of that is being taken up. And what I mean by that is there's going to be a gap right underneath the canister. If I get that measurement real quick, that's going to be sitting at a little bit over 11 inches. So if you have any smaller totes or some 2x4s, they'll fit just fine underneath there. Now where this really stands out is how much space this is taking above your bed, or how high is it going to sit. So if I get that measurement here from the inside of our bed, that's going to be about 21.5 inches. Or if I just go here from the side, that's going to be a little bit less than 1/4 inch. So this is going to be relatively even with your bed rails. So it's going to give you a better look, and you don't have to worry about anything blocking the back window like you would if you had a fold-up hard tonneau cover that blocks your back window. And where this really stands out is you can use it in tandem with some fifth wheels. So if I pull this out some, have it lock into place here, underneath that tonneau cover, this is going to be sitting at just a little bit above 19 inches, which is going to leave us plenty of space to sit above the fifth wheel we have right here. Now, of course, it is going to be dependent on what type of fifth wheel you have. So I just recommend come over to yours, getting the total height where that's sitting at, but just give you a better look at how this is going to sit over here. I'll pull it out. And as you can see, there's plenty of space above here. I can actually get a quick measurement of that. Of course, it's going to be different for everyone a little bit, but just to kind of show you that we still have 3 inches. So that's going to be a pretty large margin for a fifth wheel that we're not making contact with. And our bed rails are going to take up a little bit of space inside of here, but you can also see that we're going to have some weather stripping that goes down here. That's going to help prevent any water from seeping into our bed. And if you want to take that extra step, if you look right over here, what our neighbor did was they went and got some other weather stripping to put at the very tailgate end that makes sure it's not coming from the back, which is great if you're driving down any dirt roads. That's going to prevent a lot of grime from getting in here, especially if you do have a fifth wheel and you don't want that to get all grimy. As for the installation, you won't have to make any major modifications to your bed. And that's what I really like about this. So we're just going to have a few clamps that grab underneath your bed rails. There's going to be 2 parts to it and some kickstands to go on the very end. They're going to be relatively pretty easy to work with. I like that you don't need any power tools for that process. Now the only part that might require some modification is the drain tubes that you get with this kit. With these drain tubes, you're essentially leading any type of water that might pool up in that canister out from your bed. So in some cases, if you have those holes nearest to your cab already kind of covered up, you're probably going to have to drill a small hole for those to lead out of so no water is building up in here. But overall, I think this is going to be a solid choice if you do want that security and you want that ease of use at the same time. Not to mention you want something that's just going to look good on the back of your truck. And it is nice that we're able to see a neighbor use this for an extended period of time and see how it's holding up, and it still feels good and it still looks nice. But that pretty much does it. If you guys have any other questions, please let us know here at eTrailer. But again, I'm Matt, and thanks for watching.